Hello friends, very good afternoon to you. I hope you all are doing great. So friends, today I am going to show you how we can create an EC2 instance which is based on Linux operating system. So without wasting our time, let's get started. So once you log in to AWS Management Console, it's console.aws.amazon.com. I'm going to share this link. Once you log in, and in order to launch the instance, you need to type in the search bar it's ec2, and here you can see it's ec2, which is virtual servers in the cloud. Let me click here. So based on the region priority, you can change the desired region here, because there are some of the regions, some of the services in the AWS are region specific, like say ec2 or S3 bucket, etc. So those are bound particularly to a region, and there are some other services such as IAM. These are global services. So as per the requirement, we can change the region. So I'm going to keep this Oregon region only, okay, and let me start with this. And to the left hand side of the page, you can see there are several options, and you will be more familiar with these options once you do some hands-on practice. So for now we can just start launching our instance. So for that, let's click on this launch instances button. Here we need to select the free tier only, because with the free tier we will get some credit for the first 12 months from the date we sign up the AWS account. So say for example, regarding EC2 instances, we can run our instances till 750 hours per month, and it will be free of cost. But ensure once these 750 hours get exhausted, then there will be a very minimum charges that AWS will charge us. So we need to take this into consideration. So let me select the very first AMI. So this is the step is choose an AMI, which is called as Amazon Machine Image. You can simply call AMI as kind of an image only. There are several images like Linux image, Windows image, etc. So let me select the very first AMI. Now this is the step 2, which is choose an instance type. So here again, so it's based on our requirement. These are all types of instances we have, and these are customized as per the requirement. So yeah, if you can go down, you can see that lots of instance types are there with the details, and I am going to stick with these two, this like t2.micro, and you can see here there is a tag free tier eligible, and as I was mentioning, for the first 12 months following our sign up date, we will get 750 hours of micro instances each month. So since this is t2.micro, we can run it till 750 hours for this month, okay, for a particular month. And this is selected, so let me click on next. You can see here it has 1 vCPU and 1 GB of memory, and it's from EBS family. So EBS stands for elastic block storage. This is a particular kind of storage, and we will talk in the detail when we will be having a detailed session on the storage part. So for now, let me click on next. Now this is the main page. Here there are several options. The first option is number of instances. Since I want to launch only one instance, so I will keep the one as it is. Purchasing option we can ignore for now, okay. Network, it's showing as VPC, like this is the default VPC, and say if we would have created our own VPC in the Oregon region, then it should show here. Since I don't have any other VPC, it's not showing me here. If I go down in the subnet, there are several subnet. You can see it's a logical grouping, and we can choose any subnet of our choice. Let me select the very first one. It's US West 2A. Autos and public IP. So if we disable this one, then our instance won't get a public IP assigned. Yeah, however, we can add it later, but since we need it in order to SSH, then hence I'm keeping it by default, which is enabled. Okay, then let's get down. Yeah, IAM role, I don't want to assign any IAM role for now. It's kind of extra authentication, so for now just going to leave it. Under tenancy, you can say it's a shared, a dedicated host. You can you can consider tenants like, you know, the underlying host. So since this will be a virtual machine that we are going to launch, it's talking about, the tenancy talks about ESXi host. So whether we want our dedicated or it should be shared. So a shared means if we go with shared tenancy, so there will be some other virtual machines as well which will be shared on the same host, and that is the thing. But this is testing purpose, since I'm going to ignore this and we can go with a shared one. And say if in case you have any doubt or you have any queries, you can just simply go to this I button, the information button, and you will get some, you know, little bit information about that. So I hope this point is clear. Let me get down. This is network interface. The device is ETH0. Okay, and our IP will be, the public IP will be assigned to this one. We can also add another IP which is secondary IP address by clicking this add IP button. Now this is the advanced details section, and here this section is the user data. So in case you want any particular script to be executed as part of your instance boot process, then you can enter here and that script will get executed as part of that process. But I don't want that, so I am going to ignore this one. I will directly click on next, which is add storage. Yeah. So this is like to add a root storage. It's of 8 GB, and this is general purpose SSD. So say for any general purpose task or so, we can go with this one. If we want additional or say want provision, it will be like better in the performance, so we can choose this one. And the magnetic standard is another family. So yeah, again there will be a detailed section that I will be covering soon. At that point we will talk in depth on this point. Here for the delete on termination button, this is enabled. Say this means when our instance will terminate, then this volume as well will get terminated as part of that. If I untick this, it will means like even the instance get terminated, the volume will still remain there. So I don't want that, since I will click the default one, which is clicked one. And encryption, whether we want our this volume to be encrypted or not. So it's called as KMS, like key management service in the AWS. We can also have our own encryption key assigned, and for now I will leave it. It's like data should not be encrypted. I will click next. This is to add tags. Tags means you can add kind of a label, or you can label to your EC2 instance. Say I want to my instance to be called as say test EC2. In that case, I will click on add tag, and this is a key value pair, means the name, and say I will call it as test EC2. So my instance will be named as test EC2 post launch. Then I will click next, which is configure security group. So security group is this is something you can say a kind of firewall. Okay, using security group we can restrict the incoming and outgoing traffic to our EC2 instance. For that there are two options: create a new security group, or we can also select an existing security group. So let me create a new security group and call it as test SG, which is short form for security group. And also in the description I will paste the same. And these are, you can say the rules of the security group. And say if I want to add SSH, then I will click on add rule. I will find here, say for example, if I want HTTP, okay, it will automatically fill the port range, since HTTP uses port 80. For the source, you can say there are some options. My IP, if I select my IP, it will select the IP of our system, and we can use it. And anywhere is also, and custom. and this range like 0000/0, this is for IPv4, and this particular double colon /0 is for IPv6. It means if we go with this setting, then our EC2 instance can be, since this is HTTP, so we can do HTTP from any public IP from the world. So this will be kind of open to world. There will be no security that will be in this case. And even you can see there is a short warning here. It says the same, like rules with the source 0000 allows all IP addresses to access your instance here, which is fine. Since this is a test machine, so we can ignore this for now, and I'll click on next review and launch. This page is something like whatever we selected earlier, like instance type we selected t2.micro, then which are the security group rules. You can say for HTTP it is showing two rules, because one is for IPv4, this is, and this one is for IPv6. Okay, yeah, and I will click on launch. Now this is this section is for to select an existing key pair or create a new pair. So key pair, you can say as it's kind of authentication we need. So for that case we need this key pair. Let me select or create a new key pair and call it as test ec2, and we need to click on download button, and you can see information here. You have to download this file, so it will be in under .pem format, and in order to log in to this machine using SSH, so we will be doing that using putty, and hence we need to convert this .pem once downloaded to .ppk format. So we will see how we can do that. Let me first click on download key pair. Yeah, so this will download this key pair in .pem format that we discussed, and I will click on launch instances. So this will start launching our EC2 instance. You can click on the view launch log and see what is happening at the background. Like it will create security groups, then authorizing the inbound rules that under the security group, etc. It will happen. And if you click this button, then it will bring to the previous page, and it will show us this is the status and everything. So see, our EC2 instance is called as test EC2. If we want, we can also change it. If I click here, I can call it as test, and we need to click on save. It will be saved. The instance state is running, the family and etc. And we need to wait until this section, like status check, will be turned to 2/2 system status checks pass. So there will be two checks that will be passed. One will be instance status check and another will be system status check. Both these pass should happen for now, for us to able to install, like access our EC2 instance. So it will take another few minutes. So yeah, you can see it's initializing state at present, and it will change to 2/2 checks passed. Okay, so let's wait, and in the meanwhile let me convert this key pair, which is .pem format, to .ppk. So for that we need to use this software called as putty generator. Let me click on it, and you need to click on load. So here we need to change it all files and select this one, test ec2, select, and we need to click as, so this will be, this section it will change it, and now we need to save as save private key. Yeah, now there's a little bit warning, like without a passphrase means kind of password if we need additional protection. So I don't want it that, so I will just click yes, and I will save it as test ec2 only, and you can see it will show as in .ppk format, which is putty private key files. Okay, so I will click on save. So let's see if our instance is available. Yeah, it's still under initializing state. So let's give it a couple of minutes. Normally it takes 2 or 3 minutes at the max for the instance to be available and for us to connect to it. So let's wait for a few minutes. Yeah, now we can see the status check. It's 2/2 checks passed. So it means both the checks are passed. Yeah, you can click on status checks. You can see there are two checks that I was talking: system status check and another is instance status check. So both are passed. There is a green button there. So we are good to connect to our EC2 instance. So in order to connect, you can see that there are two IP addresses. One is public IP address, another is private IP address. So public IP address is something that we will need in order to SSH or FTP etc. to the machine, and the private one will be used for the internal communication for the AWS. So we don't really need this one to connect. We can just copy the public IP address, go to putty, yeah, paste the IP address here, and we also need that key pair that we converted sometimes back. So for that, go to SSH, just minimize it and go to auth. Here there is section for private key file, that is PPK file. Let me click browse and click on download. This is the file we need and click on open. So on the alert, just click on accept. By default the username will be ec2-user. It authenticated and there won't be any password that we need. That work has done by our key pair. So you can see we are able to log into instance, and the very first thing like normally we can do is to run sudo yum update to apply all the updates. So let me do that. So this will update all the packages on this machine, and this machine will be up to date. I will click on yes. So it will start updating, and it hardly takes few seconds to update all those packages. Yes, we got the OS prompt again, and this process got complete. So like we can play around, we can run which of the commands, we can do some hands-on practice on that. And please ensure once you are done with the practicing, ensure you are going to terminate the instance, otherwise it will be charged if we exceed that 750 hours of quota as part of the free tier. So in order to terminate the instance, we need to select this instance, tick here, then go to instance state, and there are three options: if we need to stop it or reboot it or terminate it. So since I want to terminate it, so I will click on terminate, and here this is again for the confirmation I will tick on terminate button. Yeah, so you can see here it got successfully terminated. Okay, so the status will be changed, shutting down state, and from this it will change to terminated state in next few minutes. Yeah, so finally the status is now, the instance state is now as a terminated. So friends, that's it for today. I hope you got to learn how we can launch an EC2 instance, then we can connect to it, and also how we can terminate it. And in the next sessions we will see how we can launch an EC2 instance which is based on Windows operating system. So thank you so much for your time. Please like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel. It's Cloud with Mohsin, and stay tuned. Take care. Bye bye.